Hi, this is Adam from MakerState, back with another Scratch Skills video. In this video, we're going to talk about how to add sprites to a Scratch project. Sprites, again, are the characters, objects, or interactive things that you might want to use in a project. And an example of a sprite is this cat that comes preloaded into every project. It's very easy to remove if you don't want the cat there, but we'll leave it in for now, and I'll show you how to add more sprites to your project. So there are 4 ways of adding a new sprite, each represented by one of these little icons next to the words new sprite. And those 4 ways are to add a sprite from the library, to paint a sprite using the paint tool, to upload an image that you've downloaded and turn that into a sprite, or to take an image from a web camera and turn that into a sprite. And I'm going to show you all of these very quickly. So the leftmost option is choosing a sprite from the library, and this is probably the easiest and quickest option to just fill your project with some sprites if you want to get into programming. And these are all sorted alphabetically, and here we see some people and animals and other objects and cars and foods, etc. These are sorted alphabetically, and you can sort them also with these categories and themes on the left side. So if I wanted to choose, the space category, here we see all of the sprites that have to do with space, okay? And to add a new sprite to a project, I can click on that sprite and then press OK, and then that sprite appears in my project. If I wanted to paint a sprite, I can click on this paintbrush, and that will launch the paint tool over here. And I'm not going to go super deep into how to use the paint tool right now. We'll do that more in depth in another video, but we have all these little tools here on the left that we can choose from, and a color selector on the bottom, and a brush width here on the bottom left, as well as an undo, add, and clear buttons on top. And so if I wanted to just, for example, draw a smiley face, I might start with a circle, like so, and then a fill bucket to fill it in with a color, and then maybe use a paintbrush to add some eyes and a mouth. And that's a really quick painted sprite. You can obviously make something a lot more complex or well drawn if you want to, but you can also make quick sprites like that. Next, we can upload a sprite from a file. So if there's an image on the internet that you want to use for a sprite, you can download it, and I've pre-downloaded a picture of Michael Jordan. So when I click that folder, I have mj.png right there, and I can load that up. And then Michael Jordan appears in my project as a sprite. And I'll do another video on the nuances of uploading images from the internet to your Scratch projects, but it helps if you get a PNG image or an image with a transparent background, so you don't have to worry about cutting out any backgrounds. That's what I did here. I just searched Michael Jordan PNG and found this image pretty easily. So lastly, we can take an image from a webcam, and let's see if this works while I'm recording the video. If I press this camera button, I get this pop-up asking if I'd like to allow access to my camera, which in this case I do. I'm going to click on it, and I see my camera turning on. Oh, and there I am. So I can just save a picture to take one. And there's me. And, if I wanted to, I could go into costumes and try to, delete some of the other space in this, like so. I'm not going to do all that right now. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of this sprite with the scissors. That's much better. Okay, great. So those are the 4 ways of adding sprites to your projects. So now you should be able to go and start adding sprites to your projects and maybe programming them with some scripts, etc. And you also just saw me quickly there delete a sprite by clicking on the scissors and then by clicking on the sprite. So that's another useful tool, as well as the ability to grow and shrink sprites using these grow arrows right here or these shrink arrows right here. Again, clicking on the tool and then on the sprite. Or if you want, you can duplicate a sprite by using this stamp tool by clicking on the stamp tool and then the sprite, and then we see it duplicate down here, and then I have 2 sprites. So those are just some of the basics of adding and using sprites. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you back for the next one. Okay, bye.